This is Birds 365, and we will rock some football insight for you for the next 2 hours right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. I'm Jody McDonald. That makes him John McMullen, since it's a Mac and Mac Birds 365 every day. Johnny Mac, the leaking has begun. NFL.
I got to manufacture energy, Jody. I'm excited. Schedule. Logistics. Let's go.
Well, be thankful you're not going to Europe this year, right? Because that is the first of the leaks, other than Mama Kelsey, and we'll get to her in a second. The NFL let everyone know that they were going to run down their list of international games, 5 this year, 3 in England, 2 in Germany. The Chiefs will be playing in one of them. The Eagles will be playing in none of them. Which means John McMullen doesn't have to worry about. I guess it would be considered a 1 o'clock game over there. The 9:30 games count even better for you if you're Mr. Give me Sunday at 1.
I don't mind the early morning games. Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I'm up freaking at 5 o'clock anyway, so what does it bother me?
Okay, so you just don't like it when the sun's down.
Exactly.
Early morning's perfectly fine with John McMullen. Eagles not a international game, which means they may very well be an international game next week, because the NFL wants to, next year, they want to put their best foot forward, and the Eagles are one of their best feet with the team that they have right now, and going forward, Jalen Hurts is a marquee quarterback and a star. So 1 year from now, you and I might be talking about you having to get your passport stamped to go over.
Yeah, I got to get it updated. Yeah, I mean, it's once every 8 years mandatory. I know everything runs together. The last time they were in London, it was against Jacksonville.
I was going to say, then there's the Jacksonville Jaguars, who go every year because the NFL asks, and they say, better than playing in front of a half-full stadium down here in Jacksonville. So, we'll take the check to go.
Maybe that changed because Jacksonville's getting good with Trevor Lawrence. So maybe that changes. But I think it's more to do with the stadium. It was Ben Fisher, who's sort of he's a business reporter. So, one of those sports business places, and he had mentioned Buffalo and Tennessee have games over there, and it's interesting. They're both in the midst of getting new stadiums and getting deals, and teams getting new stadiums or working towards new stadiums tend to be more willing to give up games than when the new stadiums are in place. Then they don't want to give them up at all.
Of course.
So that was an interesting thought that I hadn't mulled over. So I give him credit for that. And that turned out to be true. But no updating the passport. That's, maybe some people want a nice vacation over there. But I think it only helps the team. I think those games are a pain in the you-know-what for the teams, to be honest. So
I was going to say,
I wouldn't be upset if I'm an Eagles fan.
I was going to say, how do they help the teams? Maybe I misheard you. Do you think actually playing over in Europe is a good thing? I think
no,
it's kind of just
it's
a
bad
thing.
Over.
Yeah.
I said they're more willing to give up games because remember, you're giving up a game now if you're the road team, but when you give up a home game, that's significant revenue from the standpoint of there's not a lot of these things, and once the teams that are in the midst of getting new stadiums, they don't have them yet. When there's a financial windfall, they're a little bit more willing to deal with it than the teams that got the brand new palaces. They don't want to give up a game, especially when they're just open. That was his only point.
Gotcha. All right. So we know the Eagles aren't going to London, but apparently, or Germany, they're going to Kansas City week 2. Mama Kelsey, the mother of both Travis and our boy Jason here in town, I guess on Facebook, someone gave her information as to when the Chiefs, and we knew ahead of time Chiefs were going to be one of the teams playing in Germany this year, but she leaked out when the Chiefs were going abroad. And oh, by the way, Week 2 will be when my two sons are facing off again, and I got to break out my green/red jersey with Kelsey on the front and Kelsey on the back. So we had been speculating, pretty healthy speculation at that the Chiefs and the Eagles could very well be that opening Thursday night game. If Mama Kelsey's info is good, it's not going to be week 1. It's going to be week 2, which Johnny Mac means advantage Chiefs. And I know it's a minimal advantage. I'm not making this out as something the Eagles need to go slamming Roger Goodell's door about. Why would you do it? Why would you screw us like this? But week 1, the Chiefs will come into the rematch with 3 extra days rest over the Eagles. Now, it's after the preseason, and there's that built-in week between the end of the preseason and the start of the NFL, so I don't think the Eagles' tongues will be wagging when they get to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, but you take every little piece of advantage you can get, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's the thing about the NFL schedule. People are going to pick it apart and up and down, left and right, to look under rocks and try to find these things. And then the games are going to show up, and it's going to just be who's the best team on that particular day. But yeah, I mean, if you have a couple extra days, I thought it was weird that, why week 2 for a game like that? If you're not going to go
Exactly.
If you're not going to go the opener, I mean, save it for a more meaningful spots. But I mean, we'll see if it's right. Number one, I mean, there's no guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
They could be finagling it, changing it to the last minute. Who knows? But yeah, I when I saw that, but mine was week 2. That was my first thought. I thought, well, that's kind of a high profile game to throw in week 2. I don't know, but that was my first thought.
Didn't make sense to